Okay, we got a little bit more Oliveira's in the chat room, guys. I have to disagree. I have to really, really respectfully disagree. Maybe I'm overhyping Islam Makhachev, maybe, but I've seen him up close. I've seen him in action. He's a killer, in my opinion. He's very similar to Khabib. Just the world doesn't know it. The world doesn't know it. He doesn't have the experience of Khabib, but it's a matter of time. He does have a ton of experience. He does absolutely have a ton of experience, but just not the same level as Khabib. But still, he's on his way there, and I think the Charles Oliveira fight, he's going to score takedowns at will. He's going to get a takedown every round. I think he scores a takedown every round. Maybe he takes one round off. He wins the decision or he subs him. Okay, guys, with that said, let's take comments and questions on this fight. Hi, the tiramisu. That's from Etio. I'm not sure if there's tiramisu anywhere here, but I did eat a little chocolate recently. Coach, you were 60% on Usman too. That's true, and I ended up being wrong. You're right. I ended up being wrong. But to my credit, he was winning every round except one round until he got KO'd. He lost round 1. He won round 2, 3, 4, and was winning round 5 until he got KO'd. Okay, guys, let's see. What else you guys got to say about this fight? Why does Firas think Islam has superior wrestling? This isn't played out by the facts. That's from Blake Williams. I guarantee you he has superior wrestling. I guarantee you. Charles Oliveira has been taken down multiple times in his career. Islam Makhachev, I think, has been taken down statistically once, maybe twice. Maybe twice. I think it's only been once he's been taken down his entire career. And he's taken down literally every guy he's ever fought. I can't think of one guy other than Gleison Tebow where it was a quick knockout. He's taken on every single guy he's ever fought. So I think if you look up his statistics, you'll be shocked about what a great wrestler he is. Gaethje didn't knock down Charles Oliveira. Charles pulled guard. That's from Scott C. No, he did knock him down, and also Charles Oliveira later pulled guard. Okay, so maybe he stunned him madly once, and he knocked him down once, and then Oliveira pulled guard. But watch that fight again. Okay, I just watched it recently. He did knock Oliveira down. Absolutely. Hey, Coach. Hi, Coach. Will this fight be dictated by who can move forward, who gets pushed back? That's from Jimmy Earl. They're both gonna move around. Look, I was really surprised when I saw. I thought that. I used to think that too. You know, when I saw McGregor versus Khabib, I was really surprised that Khabib circled. Like if you watch that fight, like he circles the first 20 seconds. He's kind of circles along the fence and he kind of backs up, and McGregor just kind of aggressively walks towards him. Like it was McGregor smothering Khabib in the early few seconds. Now the way you start a fight really could change the whole pace of the fight. Okay. Khabib circles, and then of course he does that shot. He shoots below the knee, like he does this diving shot. He eats a knee on the way. Like if you would have showed me just the first 10 seconds before he shoots, if you just show me that footage, I'd be like, whoa, you know, this is really interesting because McGregor's walking up to him like he can't be hit, and Khabib is respecting his forward pressure and circling out. But then you watch the rest of the fight, you're like, you know what? It didn't play. It's always good to control the center, but it doesn't mean much when the guy's such a great wrestler. Because Oliveira has a thing where he kind of runs across the octagon sometimes and he does like a scissor push kick, or he does a flying kind of kick. He kind of runs at you and wants to throw a kick to your face, kind of like a bit like what Masvidal did to Ben Askren. He kind of rushes guys sometimes. He has a very strong elbow game. He has a very, very long piercing limbs with elbow. I think if he does that with Makhachev is just going to circle, and then shoot. Even if Oliveira pressures Makhachev, he's just going to end up getting taken down. So I don't think there's an easy way to stop the takedown from Islam Makhachev. Whether you go forward, whether you play it safe in a circle, there's just no easy way. Eventually, they're going to tie up. Look, watch Islam Makhachev's takedowns. They're almost effortless. He rarely struggles for takedowns. Like he just gets them all the time. And their timing is impeccable. The variety is impeccable. He does every takedown. He does Hairagoshi, Tayotoshi, Uchigari, double leg, single leg. I mean, it's just incredible. He hits Ukigoshi. He hits every toss. And foot sweeps. Sasai, everything. He hits them all. He has such an incredible variety. It's incredible. Like, that's just his UFC. Watch his training footage. It's incredible. The takedown arsenal that this guy has. He's a freestyle wrestling expert and a judo expert. It's something Oliveira has never seen. He's never fought a guy with this kind of arsenal. Never. When he fought Gaethje didn't want nothing to do with wrestling on the ground. When he fought Dustin Poirier, he had the wrestling advantage. Like, these are not things he's gonna have on fight night. Now, I gotta make a case for Oliveira. You know, Oliveira has great striking. He has knockout power. He has he's shown to have incredible heart. He's lost a few fights in UFC. He's lost 2 fights in a row. I think twice in UFC. He's lost like, he had a bad losing streak once. I think out of 6 fights, he had lost 4 of them at one point early in his career in UFC. Like, the guy has a lot of heart to come back from that and to keep pushing forward, and not only to come back from that, but to become world champion. The guy has a lot of heart, but he does get knocked down. He's been knocked down multiple times in this fight. He's a brilliant fighter, but he's also a blood and guts fighter. He's a blood and guts, meaning he'll take one, he'll give one, he'll take one, he'll give one. He wins, but it's messy. Makhachev, not the case. Makhachev victories have been flawless. Rarely is he ever on the back foot. Rarely does anybody ever score on him. I just don't see how we can compare. Okay, guys, let me see what else. Guys, I'm turning it on to the comments and questions on this fight from your end, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this fight, and then we'll open it up to it. Ask me anything. Islam because Charles is inconsistent. That's from KSW. I totally agree. Charles Oliveira has had some incredible fights, but even within his own fights, he's inconsistent. He's a blood and guts fighter. His offense, striking offense, is superior to Islam Makhachev's, but his striking defense is inferior to Islam Makhachev. Listen to what I said. His ability to do damage and attack and shots per second is greater. His variety is greater than Islam Makhachev's. However, his defense, his awareness, his distance control, his defensive awareness is poorer than Islam Makhachev's. And that's why I think Islam's going to win. Not only does he have great offense in wrestling, but he's also smarter, more careful in the striking department. I've just changed my mind to Islam. That's from Lex Merrill. Oh, I'm glad I could at least convince one person. Look, guys, I'll tell you one thing. Fighting is chaotic. Nobody knows who's going to win. That's why we put them in the cage. This is just my view. You know, I don't think anybody can predict fights. It's just, you know, you can predict. If you put an A fighter and a B fighter, it's really easy to predict. You know, it's kind of like easier to see. But these are 2 world-class, A-level, tippy-top, cream of the crop, #1 challenger versus champion. No, not on paper anymore. He's not champion on paper. But I think we could all forgive a 0.5 over the weight. I think, like, I still consider him champion, even though technically he's not champion. He was stripped. But we're talking about the champ and the #1 contender, the tippy-top, cream of the crop, 2 fighters. They didn't get there because their names were chosen out of a hat. No, because they're great. Okay, no. They both have an incredible ability to finish. These guys finish fights at the highest level. That's an incredible skill. It makes things a lot harder to predict. I think this is going to be a very hard to call fight, but in my opinion, Islam's style is perfect to beat an Oliveira. Everything Oliveira does plays into his game. Oliveira does spinning, jumping, flying attacks. Those are great opportunities for takedowns. Oliveira has got a lot of subs, but he's not positionally strong. That's perfect. That's perfect for Islam Makhachev. Islam's gonna get past the subs and he's gonna dominate positionally and comfortably. He's gonna have a margin of comfort because he's so much more positionally strong. Oliveira is the type of guy. He's very aggressive with subs. He's very, very aggressive with subs. He goes for those subs. He rolls, and they work big for him. But he loses position. He's not a positional fighter, and I think that's a plus for Makhachev. All he's got to worry about is like super aggressive subs, and if he can get past that positionally, it's an open season. I think it's going to be a good thing for Makhachev.